Hey guys, it's Rachel, and it's Thursday. I'm not sure when this is going to go up. It might go up tomorrow, it might go up on Friday, because I know that Ariel hasn't been able to necessarily upload hers, so I need to check in on that really. This week we are continuing with the idea of releasing our inner creativity and using it in a positive way to help us understand ourselves, move forward, or even if we're just using it for distraction, if you're not at a point of using it in a means that you necessarily understand in terms of expression. I'm somebody who writes now, and I'm moving forward with that, which I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely terrified about. I'm going to be getting my first poetry anthology published. So I have my own Facebook page now, which I will put a link to at the bottom of the video, and it's all moving forward, and that should be out by the end of the month, I'm hoping anyway. So that's something that I've discovered, and something that I maybe didn't discover till later on. And although I've always been somebody who reads a lot, who does tend to write to an extent, I was somebody who always kept journals when I was younger. Most of you will be aware, who watch my videos, of my blog, siajanewords.blogspot.com, I think it is. And that's somewhere that I've written for many years now, since kind of 2010, as a way of expression, as a way of gaining support from other bloggers, as a means of kind of keeping everybody up to date, including myself really, a means of taking the time to reflect on what's going on for me. So today I'm going to think of some ideas that you may wish to pursue, and ideas that may help you move forward with some of what you're going to be doing. And maybe the first one that you could do, and you can make it private, and you could just invite people to view the blog if that feels the most comfortable for you. You don't have to use Blogger. That's the one that I'm most familiar with. I know that some people use WordPress and a couple of others, but Blogger for me was incredibly easy to set up, to personalise as well. That's a nice way to distract as well. It's focusing on something inside of you, creativity. It's bringing out aspects of how you wish to present yourself, I guess. And then if you feel you can open it up to a wider audience, then that's great. So that's something that I began doing, and I kind of disciplined myself a little bit with it, because, as I said, it allowed me the chance to be able to sit back and reflect on what I was doing and what my days were like, especially maybe after having therapy or seeing my psychiatrist, and just the chance to kind of think through what was going on for me. I guess some of it was ranting a little bit, but for the most part I tried to make it something that was mine and something that was positive. And I tried to think about, I'm sorry about the noise, and I tried to think about what would help me in writing this, that allows me to move forward with the piece of writing that I've done. Now, it doesn't have to be poetic, it doesn't have to be prose. I'm not talking about short stories, I'm just talking about sitting down and trying to write. And so there's something called like morning papers, and what I have here is actually on the table next to me, which is kind of good. Just a little notebook, okay? And just maybe every day, this hasn't actually been written in, it's one I can start with, but at some point, and just maybe take pencil to paper. That's an amazing way to write. I mean, I just love doing stuff like sharpening my pencil so I can sit down and write. You don't have to write anything of anything. If you can't think of things to write, just be patient, because staring at a blank page, even me just opening this and seeing this blank page, I'm like, right, what do I want to write? Getting inside your head, getting inside your subconscious isn't going to be easy. So what you might perhaps want to do is use prompts. There is a book called writing as a way of healing. It's one that's been around a while. I think that's what it's called. I can put a link to it at the bottom. And she gives you writing prompts, and it is to do with healing writing. And so what she explores in it really, especially when she's introducing you to it, is that writing can actually be negative. It can be something that doesn't help you express yourself, but instead confirms perhaps negative thoughts about you. When it comes to ranting about things, it's kind of a lot of negativity towards what's around you. So if I think to my journals that I had when I was poorly, you know, that wasn't helpful. I mean, it wasn't. If I look through them, it's like that just, it wasn't helping me. It wasn't writing that was productive. And she helps you through the book find ways of making it productive so that you actually get something out of it. Other than maybe a blog or having a journal to write in, the other thing that I can suggest with regards to writing, and it's to challenge yourself with different styles of writing. So you may think, I can't write a poem. Right, I didn't realise I could write poems until June last year. I really didn't. I didn't have a clue. I don't even now. I couldn't even tell you what different styles of poetry are. I really, really couldn't. I just write for myself and I put it out there, and I hope that people enjoy it. And that's all I'd say to you. You can experiment with different styles. I know that people are taught within creative writing classes the different styles of writing that there are. And so maybe if you want to look into that and challenge yourself to do that writing, as I said, you don't have to share it. But one of the best things that I did for myself was actually start to share my work. I'm on Hello Poetry, and I have quite a few friends on there now. And it's such a pleasant environment. It's incredibly safe. Nobody bullies anybody or is nasty to anybody. And putting my work out there was really frightening at first, but it's given me a lot of confidence. And some pieces I kind of write and I really enjoy, and I myself like them, and I kind of think, oh, okay. And not as many people will maybe give me feedback on it or appreciate it in the same way compared to another piece which I'm kind of like, oh, I don't really like that. And then I will find that it's been incredibly successful. So those types of things can be really positive. And what you can do on there is you can make your work private, and then at another point you could make it public. But it gives you an actual place to go on to do your writing. And as I said, a blank screen can be incredibly overwhelming. Something that I've challenged myself with twice now. I first of all did it by flicking through a magazine. I came up with 20 words and wrote a poem from it. The other time I got my best friend Tracy. We were kind of not sure what to do with ourselves when we were on our spa weekend. It was kind of like dum-de-dum-de-dum. And I was like, right, give me 20 words. And when I got back, I wrote up a piece of writing. So what that does is not only is it distracting me, it's making my brain work. It's engaging me. I'm looking at those words. I'm maybe looking at a thesaurus or a dictionary, at ways in which that word is used. I'm trying to think of characters. I'm trying to pull the pieces together. I'm trying to tell a story, even if it's a very short story. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a short story as such. What it means is that it's a piece of writing that has been developed through being given words. That's something really, really helpful. And it's hard. It's not easy. The piece I just did, I think it was called Lady, was like, I did it within an hour, but it was hard. It was really hard to use the words I was given and put it into something coherent, and that did make sense. Another way of doing things is by looking at pictures. Take a picture and maybe develop, if it's a person in it, to maybe develop a character of that person, describe that person. I go into quite a lot of intricate detail when I write. I focus very much on sort of each and every part, and I do that with my normal writing. I'm kind of 10,000 words into a novel which I started, which I haven't touched since February, and I'm finally going back to, and even then my writing is incredibly intricate, and it's a little bit too much, to be honest. So I'm kind of going through that right now. Other ideas with writing could involve even just reading pieces of work. I mean, I've been reading a really amazing book and I kind of really want to expand on one of the characters. And this doesn't have to be work that is going to be published. It doesn't have to be work that needs copywriting or what have you, but it's just a way of getting yourself going, getting yourself moving, and having a place that is yours to be able to write. And I spoke to one of the girls in my group I facilitate about that the other day, and I was kind of saying, you know, you need a space that's yours, that isn't your room, that is separate from that. And I've got my little, you know, I've got my desk in here now, and I've got all my incense and candles and my little Buddha over there, my artwork I've got from New York, I've got my little sitting area here, I've got my magazines, I've got Vogue, I've got Harper's, I've got books, and it's just, I'm slowly building it up. I've even got a little one of those water things, you know, they just, anyway. And I think that that's maybe what you need to try to do, to just find a place to curl up with a nice cup of tea, if that's the kind of person you are, with your little notebook and a little pencil. And even if you just yourself, without looking at anything, start to write and it doesn't go anywhere, I do that quite often. I write like 8 lines and I'm like, no, that's not going anywhere, and I leave the page in case I want to go back to it. But I really do think that writing is an incredibly positive experience for you to engage in, and I really do think it's one of the best ways to unlock some subconscious thoughts. And other pieces you may choose to do are letters. You may want to write the format of a letter. That can be quite helpful as well. I did that when I lost Isla after her suicide last year. I kind of wrote to her, and it formed quite a beautiful piece of writing, to be honest. And I think sometimes when something does touch you like that, that it can be incredibly positive to do that for yourself. So whatever form your writing takes, it doesn't matter. No one's going to judge it, and if they do, well, at least you're getting something from it. And I just think that you just need to allow yourself to not be critical and to allow some of that expression to come out. I mean, there are some poets who also do drawings with their work, and if that's how you feel you can work as well, that's amazing. But I do recommend the whole pencil to paper thing. I think it's incredibly helpful, and don't give up with it, and reach out if you want some support with it, if you want ideas from it, and just have a go, really. And that's what I would urge you to do. So until next week, I hope that you have found some use from the video, and I will look forward to seeing you next week, and love you all. Okay, thanks guys, bye, bye, bye.